What's up, everybody? Happy 2025. So today I'll give you guys a little update on what's going on with the Skyline build. Finally, was actually able to come out and play around today. I got a little break from school from the spring semester before we go on summer break, but I'll wind up taking like a summer class or two just to get done a little bit quicker. But anyways, today, I just want to show you guys what I'm up to. All right, so back out of this thing, and you can see it. She's up on all fours, and no, if you guys were wondering, it's not like the Calsonic Group A cars, any Group A cars, just regular jack stands. I don't have air jacks on this thing. But the reason she's up on all fours is this guy right here. One of the many parts that I have been hoarding. And if you're wondering what in the heck you're looking at, for my non-GTR Skyline people, this is a sump extension for the oil pan. Skyline, especially the RB26, just when you start modifying the car very heavy, pulling a lot of lateral forces and all on it, depending on what type of spirited driving or motorsports you're going to be getting into, you don't have enough capacity in your oil pan. Things get to moving around, shifting. So yeah, that's one of the things that you do when you start chasing power and tire grip and suspension modifications. You need the oil in the car. The other thing is with RBs, many people know they have from the factory, they just don't have the oil pump capacity. They also don't have the strength in the gears. You start beating off the rev limiter and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of companies now that make oil pumps for these cars, for the RB26 or any RB really. But I've decided to go with a trusted name. And I'll wind up putting the description in there. So anyways, long story short, all of this madness is I got to get access to the oil pump and I got to get access to the pan, because I got to get that pan out so we can weld in the extended sump. But so I don't forget, just tell you guys, and I'll talk more about it in another video, but this is the oil pump. So all my Nissan, all my RB Group A fanatics, hopefully you guys recognize that name. So if you don't know, they make a lot of upgraded parts, and I'm gonna go over that in videos to come. But anyways, this is a upgraded oil pump with hardened billet gears, Japanese spec billet steel, as well as the backing plate, which is very weak on the even the N1 pumps. It's a weak point, so it flexes. So this is thicker. They use a different style bolt, and in here you can kind of see it. This is the part of the outer gear, but the gears are stronger, way stronger, right? So like I said, well, I'm gonna do a full breakdown on that eventually, with all the other goodies that I got for oil control. But today I want to get this thing out, right? So I want to get this pan out because I got to weld it, and I also need access to the oil pump. And this is the factory pan. It sits in there like so. If you guys are wondering, if you've never seen a GTR before, there's my one front axle. So I got to get all of this stuff out because it runs through the pan. And once I get the pan out, I can kind of give you guys more of a breakdown. The other part is I got something very important to do this job while it's in the car. It's the safest way to do it. Went to Harbor Freight and I finally got myself a engine crane. So we're going to use that. And what you got to do if you're going to do this in car, because I'm not going to yank the motor completely out. It doesn't need to come out. You still need to support it because you got to drop the front subframe of this of the GTRs down and out of the way so you can get the pan out of there. So what you got to do is you got to support the engine. So I'll go over that a little bit more in detail when I get to that stage. I just want to share one other thing that I was happy to get. There's a couple of companies that make some lifting points for these RBs. This company, Laria Technical, homegrown in my backyard, pretty much. These guys are drift kings. They are also very, very heavy into the Nissans and very heavy into the Skyline community. So I was able to get them. I'm gonna need them because I got to put one in each corner of the head to support this thing while I drop that subframe. If not, the whole engine and all is going to come crashing on the ground. That's going to be a bad day. So enough of me babbling. I'm going to go ahead, set this thing up, and I am going to get to work on this thing. So just bear with me. All right, guys. Now it's time to just start taking this apart. First thing I'm going to do, one of the first things that I'm going to do to make it easier and I don't damage expensive pieces. I'm going to yank the radiator out of the way, and then I'm going to get these two front fenders off. So I won't worry about damaging these or scratching these up. Fresh paint from a year ago, you know, and I worked pretty hard on getting this body the way it is. So let me just get this stuff out of the way and I'll just keep on working. Don't have to worry about damaging that at all. Actually, I'm going to pull this camera over so you guys can see what I got going on over here. All right, so pretty much now you can see how much room I have to work. I've already pulled my timing belt and changed a lot of things out already. Now, don't fret. I got a new timing belt for this. I got new pulleys and tensioner as well. And this is the crank. If you guys were wondering on the RB or any car, that's your crankshaft snout. Water pump is here. Franklin Performance LS1 upgrade. Can't wait to see the difference that's going to make, as well as R35 conversion as well. So I can't wait to see the difference. Now you can see how much room I actually have to work. I'm thinking what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pop my oil cooler off. When I picked this car up, it didn't have this. It still was utilizing the factory oil cooler setup with that turbo setup. Could you imagine, right? So I just can't wait to see how this car is actually going to perform. This little guy here is my power steering cooler. Way more heavy duty than what the factory offering is. Just so you guys can kind of see. Got a guy to weld that stainless steel bongs in for me. He did a bang up job on that. So that's all converted to AN. This here, Cerakoted. I did this here at the house, but this has been professionally Cerakoted. That and the manifold. So anyways, go ahead, hop it back up. The one thing that will be potentially one hassle of all of this, and don't worry guys, this is the, see, harness. New harness, by the way, from Wiring Specialties. Let me go over and show you the details on this. If you're on the fence about going to Wiring Specialties, I suggest you do. Look at that. The detail, man. They even went as far as getting that sticker from the factory back on there. It's crazy detail. Anyways, fresh new harness from Wiring Specialties. You can see it's not even, it's mint, brand new. So their quality is really good. And that harness is the OE factory style harness. And they have wire tuck harnesses, mil spec harnesses, whatever. And this is me when I did my wire tuck. She ain't going nowhere. She's nice and solid in there. So anyways, yeah, all of this stuff will be connected to something. So you can see it's not as bad as a mess as it looked. I just kind of slung stuff in there. Main thing is I just want to make sure that I don't have anything connected to the sump when I go to drop it down. Drop it down out of there. And I'm thinking what I might wind up doing is on the, while I was fooling with that, I'm looking here. You guys might not be able to see it, but that is where my engine mount stuff is. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to at least, it's like a nut that holds these in. I'm probably gonna have to loosen that nut up and just have it float. And I might even have to knock, it's another 2 bolts down here. I might have to take those out of the bottom part of the mount, and that'll leave it floating. So, yep. All right, just bear with me, guys. Put this back in its holder. So really, I want to get this suspension stuff loosened up. Is my main thing. So for me, guys, what I'm going to do real quick is on this car, I'll show it once the subframe's down because it'll be better lighting. But there are your upper control arms or wishbones, whatever you want to call it, that's on these cars. I'm going to go ahead and take those, loosen them up, and I'm going to drop my front coilovers and take them completely out of the car. That way I have a lot more room to maneuver instead of trying to, coming out probably won't be bad, but going back in it might be a pain in the ass trying to line these all up to get it to go up into the car. If you guys were wondering what I was fooling with over there, I used these little rubber washers to kind of try to protect the paint. Uh, didn't work, but the good thing is, one of the companies called Garage Yashoda or Yoshida, they make it's like a clear gasket that goes all the way around that, so when you run like your strut tower bars and all, you don't damage this. In this car, actually, I do have a strut bar. I got to get it refurbished, but either way, I'm gonna wind up getting those and protect it a little bit more. Now I might have to sand that down and just put touch-up paint in there, and it'll be okay, just to protect it from the elements. I don't even know if I went all the way back down the primer. Damn, it nicked it pretty bad over here, but it is what it is. That'll be covered. Like I said, I'm gonna do it the right way and sand that and touch that up with some the paint that I have, and it should be fine. And then I'll put that clear gasket and my strut bar back on. These are by the way, just note, these are probably one of the easiest front coilover setups I've ever dealt with in my entire life, man, on a GTR. One other thing I want to show you guys here is this clear, like thick mill tape. Pretty much I put this on there to protect the underside of the body of the car. From the factory, there is a like paper gasket actually that sits in here. I didn't want to run that. I wanted something a little bit more sturdy, and I kind of like that. And you'll see this, it's clear, but who cares, you know what I mean? It's about protecting the body of the car at the end of the day. All right, guys. I killed the camera just because it was a lot of tedious work. Nothing too hard, but there was no need to really film that much detail. But what it's look like once you're ready. So this is the passenger side knuckle. Everything is out of the car, as you can see. That's the only thing that still is that upper arm, but everything else is done. The only thing I still have to do, and this is everything from the driver's side. Brought my little cart over just so I can throw stuff in it and just keep rolling. But as you can see, both sides are out. That hole is where the axle used to sit. So that's ready. I got my sling on. I got my sling ready for the crane action. So the next thing that I want to do to this thing is get down there to the power steering. There's a bolt that I need to get from the rack that'll allow the subframe to drop down without ripping my steering column to pieces. So I need to get that done, and what I'll do is I'll probably swing the crane over, hook it to this, and then I'll loosen up the motor mounts. So it's kind of like the motor will be floating. Then I'll just go ahead and start working my my 8 nuts for the subframe to drop out. Probably once I hook the crane up, I'll get that action so you guys can kind of see me doing what I'm doing, and then I'll probably end this video there, and then the next time you see me, I'll probably have the pan and everything out, and then I'll film. I don't know, depending on how I feel today, I might not knock the oil pump and stuff off today, but I'll probably film that on another video. So I'm going to call it quits for today. One thing you probably seen was this setup here. I'm not happy with it, and it's all because this is way too long. It is tight, but that's too much of an extreme angle for what I'm doing. And that's like a 6-foot sling. So I'm gonna get like a 2-foot or 4-foot, just something that I can run along here. Because the only thing I'm trying to do is just hold the engine in place. I'm not trying to pull it. And this would be way too much, even trying to pull it out of the car. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, and just call it quits for the day. Try to run to Home Depot, either evening or tomorrow morning when I get some time to get that chain, and then I'll pick back up. I'll pick the video up, or I'll start another video when it's time. Yeah, like I said, I got it to the point to where I got it where I got like halfway to go, and I'm happy with that. You know, I can't really complain. It's going to be really just putting tension on this, the taking the motor mount out over here and here, and then just taking out my 8 subframe bolts, which will drop that down, and I should be able to get to the pan and get that out of there. And probably what I'll do, just so I'm not sitting under this thing for too long, is while I have it in this stage, I'll probably just go ahead and loosen up all my oil pan bolts pretty much, and then just be ready to rock. I got to look at the trend because I'm not sure if it's 2 or 4 bolts that go from the transmission into the oil pan. So I'll have to check that out as well and do that. But like I said, I'm like halfway there, and I'm happy with that progress that I've made. So next video, I will pick back up working on this thing. I was hoping to do it all in one video, which I could have. I probably stopped and just pick back up. But it's like, there's no need to rush, man. You know, it's like I got time. I got a lot of time. So the one thing I did do is I pulled my valve covers off just because I didn't want to scratch them up or whatever. One thing I got to do before I start the engine is not just dump oil. I got to get like fogging oil or something and spray on some of these cam lobes. I have no idea why they, like you can see there, like they rusted. I don't know why, but it is what it is. The main thing is I catch it before I try to start it up and get all that rust or could damage or wipe a lobe of the cam. So yep, and just a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, you guys probably can't see it. I can't get in there, but see the size of those freaking lobes, man. These cams, a HKS 280 cam with 10.8, I think it was, lift I seen on the back of the cam. So they're aggressive cam. I can't wait to start this thing up again, and you guys can hear it, and I can drive. It chops, man. It chops pretty good. So yeah, just keep plugging away at this thing, and then I will be there sooner than later, you know. But like I said, man, I got the whole front suspension ripped off of it now. And that's going to be fun trying to get to the oil pan. That's why I'm saying I'm thinking of just getting all my oil pan bolts loose now. That way I can get the subframe loose, and then I'm gonna have to come in probably from back there. I'm gonna come in from back there and then up and work on this thing to get the pan out of there once I get the subframe dropped, because the engine crane is going to be there. There's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, we're gonna get that tackled, and then I'll get that Leask Spec Extension welded up. And one of these fittings, I think it's going to be this side. I got to get an adapter that goes in, because what I'm going to do is run my catch can right back into the sump. It'll dump back in there. And then I got to get a drain plug. I want to get a drain plug that's magnetic. I have a plug that plugs that off, and then I have the plug for this side as well. I'm not going to run a return line back to that, but definitely from my catch can, I'm going to run a return there. So yeah, I'm there. I want to show you guys the surprise that not surprise, but the come up that I got that I actually needed. And that's going to be another video where I can talk about those great products. They're going to be functional. So all right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this little bit of me working. I know I didn't film too much of it, but yeah, hopefully, you know, you guys come back again for the next episode, where I'll have this pan and subframe dropped out, and then on to the next one. So, all right, guys. Well, enjoy your week, your month, whatever. I don't know when. I'll probably film again in a couple of weeks. I got finals coming up and stuff like that. So just hold tight, and yeah, go. Hopefully, you guys continue enjoying your 2025 spring, and I'll be back. Love you guys. Peace.